Most travel backpacks kind of force you into a decision. You either go cheap and end up with something that feels like it's falling apart after a few trips, or you spend $200, $300 just to get something that actually works. But every now and then, you come across something like this. So hey, Johannes from GearUpYourLife here, and this is the Tomtoc Navigator T66 Liteway in the 40-litre ripstop version. And what makes this one interesting is pretty simple. It's a full carry-on travel backpack with a really solid feature set for around $80 to $100. I've been using it in real travel situations, packing it out, taking it on trips, and in this video, I'll show you what it actually does well, where it maybe falls a bit short, and whether this is something you should actually consider for your setup. So let's start with the design and build quality. And the first thing you notice is that this doesn't really feel like a typical budget backpack. It's very clean, minimal, and just from a looks perspective, it just works in pretty much every situation, whether you're at the airport, in a cafe, or just moving around during the day. In terms of colors, you've got a few options: black, gray, and also a green version. I personally have the 40-litre here in black, and I also have the smaller 28-litre version in green, which I mostly use for everyday stuff and going to the gym, and that one is basically the same bag, just scaled down to 28 litres. But in this video, we're only focusing on the 40 litres. Now when it comes to the materials, this is where it gets interesting. The main fabric is a ripstop polyester, which basically means it's designed to resist tearing. So even though it feels quite lightweight, what it's also is, with only around 1 to 1.5 kilos, or around 2.5 pounds, it's actually more durable than you'd expect. And then at the bottom, you've got a thicker, more reinforced material, which is exactly where you want that extra durability. So overall, it's a nice balance between keeping the weight low, but still feeling solid enough for weeks or even months of travel. Another small detail I really like are the zippers. They're all YKK, which is something you usually see on more expensive bags, and they feel smooth and reliable. So really nothing gets stuck, nothing feels cheap, and that's a part where it just works. In terms of branding, you've got a small Tomtoc logo on the front. I've seen some people say they don't like it, or that it feels a bit too visible. Personally, I think it's fine. It doesn't really bother me, and once you start using the bag, you don't really notice it anymore. And overall, that's kind of the best way to describe this bag. It feels light, but not cheap, and that's, to be honest, something you don't always get in this price range. Now next, let's talk about the capacity and the overall organization, and I'll also show you later how I actually pack this bag in real use. So capacity wise, this is advertised as a 40-litre backpack, and I'd say that's mostly true, but realistically it feels a bit closer to around 35 litres. And honestly, I don't even see that as a bad thing, because with backpacks that are more focused on tech and travel, you often have to trade a bit of pure packing space for better structure and organization, and that's exactly what you get here, and you'll see that more clearly in a second when I pack it out. So starting with the layout itself, on the front you've got a smaller compartment, which is great for thinner or everyday items. Things like snacks, smaller accessories, or even something like a slim toiletry kit fit in here really well. Then moving to the main compartment. This is where you get most of your space. It opens clamshell style, so you can lay it flat like a suitcase, which makes packing way easier. And this is the part you can really maximize, especially if you're using packing cubes. Then on the sides, you've got 2 water bottle pockets. I'd say they're decent, but also not the deepest, but good enough for most use cases. For example, something like the Evervessel Mini with around 500 milliliters fits perfectly, but with bigger bottles, like something like an Owala FreeSip, it can feel a bit less secure, especially when you're moving a lot. Now moving to the laptop compartment. This is actually one of the strongest parts of the bag. You get a fully separate section at the back with a lot of space for tech. For example, you can easily fit a 16-inch MacBook in here, and even something bigger like a portable monitor like the Blackview screen. On top of that, you still have space for things like an iPad, a smaller laptop stand, or other flat accessories. And on the opposite side, you've also got a zippered pocket for smaller items. So things like power banks, camera gear, or even parts of your work setup fit really nicely in here. For a full tech setup like multiple chargers and bigger accessories, it might get a bit tight, but for most travel setups, it's definitely enough. And one feature I personally really like is that you can access the main compartment directly from this section as well. It just makes everything feel more connected and easier to use on the go. Then on the back side, you also get a small hidden pocket. And this is perfect for everyday items like your wallet, passport, or your phone. Basically, things you want to keep a bit more secure. Now in terms of carry and handling, the bag feels really comfortable overall. The shoulder straps are soft, well padded, and even when the bag is packed, it still feels balanced. You've also got a solid top handle, which can easily hold the full weight of the bag without feeling weak. And on the side, there's also another handle, which I personally find really useful when putting the bag into overhead bins or just moving it around quickly. And then of course, you've got all the smaller details as well, like compression straps, quick access pockets, and just a layout that overall feels very practical in everyday use. So now I want to show you how you can actually pack this bag, and also how I'll personally pack it for my 2-week trip to Greece in a couple of weeks. Starting with the front pocket, this is where I usually keep smaller, thinner items. For example, I'm using this small clear toiletry bag from Tripped, and as you can see, it fits in here really nicely, without taking up too much space. Then moving to the main compartment, this is where I'm using packing packing cubes, and this is really where the bag starts to make sense. I've got one larger packing cube from Thule and another one from level 8, both packed with things like t-shirts, shorts, and one light zipper. Then I've got two smaller cubes, again from Thule and level 8. In those, I keep tank tops, underwear, and socks. On top of that, I'm adding my Tomtoc tech pouch with all my everyday tech essentials, and also a foldable day pack from Osprey. And I even managed to squeeze in a packable rain jacket on the side. So already at this point, you can see that there's quite a lot of space here. And I'd say for most people, this setup would easily cover a 1-week trip. But even for longer trips, especially if you're traveling as a digital nomad, this bag still works because of the tech compartment. So moving to that part. In the back section, I'm packing a 16-inch portable monitor and my MacBook. In the front sleeve, I've got an iPad with an Apple Pen, and on the other side, I'm adding something like the Satechi on-the-go charger. And normally, I'd also carry my camera set up in here, but I film it with it, so you will just see a video how it looks. Then moving to the top compartment, which is more for quick access. Here I'm packing things like a small pill organizer, an airfly adapter, foam and soap sheets, a data blocker, and my wallet. And as you can see, there's still enough space without it getting messy. Then for the outside, I usually clip a nano bag to the backpack, and also something like a JBL Clip 5 for the Airbnb or the beach. And in one of the side pockets, I've got my Owala free sip, and that's basically the full setup. And honestly, I think this already shows pretty well what this bag can handle, especially considering that you'll usually have a second personal item bag anyway. And one more important thing, fully packed like this, the whole setup still stays under most airline weight limits. Even with everything inside, it comes in at under 7 kilos, and that's mainly because the bag itself is pretty lightweight. So overall, this is a setup that feels very realistic for actual travel. So now, last but not least, let's talk about the price, who this bag is actually for, and my final verdict. Price-wise, the ripstop version you see here comes in at around $99, and the standard version is usually closer to around $85. And to be honest, either way, I think that's a really solid deal, because you're not just getting a simple backpack here. With the compression straps, you can actually scale it down a bit, so it almost works like a smaller day pack as well if you're not fully packed. And overall, in terms of build quality, design, and what you can actually fit inside, this is definitely a very strong value. So who is this for? I'd say this is a great option for anyone looking for a carry-on travel backpack for around a week of travel without needing checked luggage. It's also a really good choice if you're looking for the best possible price to performance ratio. And even for digital nomads or longer term travelers on a budget, this setup can definitely work, especially with that tech compartment. Where I wouldn't recommend it is if you're already using a high-end $300 to $500 backpack, or if you're just looking for a small day pack or city bag. Now, when it comes to my final verdict, I was honestly pretty surprised, not just by this bag, by Tomtoc in general. I've tested a few of their products now, including the 28-liter version of this bag and their tech pouch. And across the board, the value you get for the price is what I think hard to beat. That said, it's not perfect. Capacity feels slightly below 40 liters, the compression straps can make access a bit less convenient sometimes, and the water bottle pockets could be a bit deeper. But overall, if you've made it this far into the video, I think you already have a pretty good idea whether this bag fits your setup. And if it does, it's definitely something worth considering. And if you want to check it out, you can use the link in the description that helps support the channel, and of course, it doesn't cost you anything extra. Alright, and with that, we're done. If you enjoyed this one, the video on the left is definitely for you. You'll find even more travel setups and gear there. And if you're not subscribed yet, you can do that right here on the right. Thanks a lot for watching all the way to the end, and as always, safe travels, guys.